Okay. All right, welcome back to American Sunrise. I'm Dr. Gina. We thank you for joining us today. It is time now for our health news that is sponsored by the Wellness Company. And under the microscope today, the Trump administration cracking down on Big Pharma advertising. Administration officials reportedly going after misleading drug advertisements. They aim to close a loophole from the 1990s that allows ads to leave out safety risks in ads. HHS and the FDA sent thousands of letters to Big Pharma companies. The letter said people are not getting the balance of information on the risks of potential treatments. So this is how they are approaching it. This is brilliant. This is effectively going to work as a ban on advertising, and this has been one of the battle cries of the MAHA movement from the very beginning, because we are one of the only countries in the world that allows Big Pharma to advertise on television. So by elongating and protracting the possible risks inherent in any medications, it will effectively make it so it's impossible to run a commercial, because you can't have a 10-minute commercial, right? So this is very interesting. You'll want to follow this. A new administration in Washington, D.C. has brought a lot of positive changes when it comes to fixing our broken healthcare system. The reality, though, there's only so much the government can do, and that if we really want to make America healthy again, it's going to start at home with each of us, and that's where the Wellness Company comes in. You see and hear from their doctors all the time on this network, and you know their products are the gold standards for keeping you healthy. You have the opportunity with them to make sure you're prepared for whatever happens with their series of medical prescription kits. These kits have an assortment of life-saving medications and guidebooks to assist in the proper use of the meds in the kits. Additionally, the Wellness Company offers a variety of products, from parasite cleanses to methylene blue, weight loss, so much more. These can help you stay healthy and live a more satisfying and longer life. Make America Healthy Again starts at home. Do your part, protect the health of yourself and your family. Go to twc.health/RAV today. Give it an order. That's twc.health/RAV. Use the promo code RAV. That'll save you 10%. All right, Washington, D.C. honored RAV's own and Turning Point USA founder, Charlie Kirk, at a prayer vigil last evening. We saw participants like House Speaker Mike Johnson, HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., among others. Federal officials say 22-year-old Tyler Robinson is in custody in connection with the assassination. He's reportedly not cooperating with investigators. President Trump did say that Charlie Kirk will be awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom posthumously. From where I want to bring in historian and author and host of American Minute Radio, Bill Federer. Oh, Bill, you just never thought I'd see you on a day like this. You and I both go way back with Charlie and his family. You look at this from a historical complex. You know, it's interesting. I was watching the Sunday shows this weekend, and one of the older commentators, I should know his name. I'm terrible with names. never get offended if I don't know your name, because I'm terrible. But he was saying, you know, actually, he does remember a time when political assassinations were a thing. We used to have a lot more of them. We haven't had as many recently. Give us this whole vision in historical context.
Right. Well, all we have to do is look at Mexico, and almost every election cycle, they have dozens of candidates killed, sometimes while they're walking up the platform to their rally. You know, I first met Charlie in 2014. I was the main speaker at an event in Robinson, Illinois, small town, about 500 people. And I get there and I'm going through my notes before I get up and talk. And there's this young guy talking, and I can't concentrate on my notes. He's talking about the Constitution, free market, capitalism, our faith. And it was Charlie Kirk. And that was 11 years ago. And over the years, one time we became friends through Foster Freeze. He was a conservative billionaire that supported me when I ran for Congress 20 years ago. And you remember that race.
Of course. And I remember Foster very well. God rest his soul as well.
And so Foster would invite me to a pheasant hunt. I mean, I used to hunt when I was a kid with my dad, but this was sort of unique. And they'd have people like, you know, Gary Sinise, because he at a veterans organization, and Ross Perot Jr. talk about flying around the world in his helicopter, and but he'd also have political people, Tucker Carlson, Andrew Breitbart, Neil Patel, and one time it was Charlie Kirk, and we'd sit around the fireplace. It was one of those unique type of things, and Foster would have each person say a little bit, and I'd give a history talk. But Charlie talked about how he was at a convention and he followed Foster up a couple flights of stairs, giving his 2-minute pitch on engaging youth. And Foster says, "I like it. Call my office. They'll cut you a check." And that was the seed money to help Turning Point USA grow exponentially.
Yeah.
And years later, when Foster died, Tucker talked at the memorial, but Charlie and I and my son spent about 2 hours in the car together, driving through the Wyoming mountains, and he's asked me all these history questions, and he was thrilled that he was able to stump me on a question. And he's like, "I stumped Bill Federer," and but then he
Wait,
would
what
help me
was
out
the question? You can't do that to us.
Yeah. But we text back and forth. I literally have dozens of texts on my cell phone from Charlie texting me scriptures. He texted me one the day before he was shot. It was 1 Corinthians 16:9. "There's wide doors of effective ministry open for me, but there are many adversaries." And I texted a little emoji hand praying, but I should have called him right then. But last week, I spent an entire week with him in Seoul, Korea. Their country is now beginning to lean communist, and the little pastor, Son Hyung Bo, was arrested. His house was
Yes.
raided. He was in the back room saying, "If they arrest you, Pastor, I'm going to call President Trump. I'm going to let everybody in America know. I just have one last event I have to do at a college before I'm going to make this my main issue." And that 2 days after we left, that pastor's in jail. He's sitting in jail right now in
Yes.
South Korea.
I'm
And
glad you
Charlie
brought that
wanted to
up.
let the country know about that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. You talked to my husband about that as well, and I know you all have been working on that. What was the one question that Charlie asked you that you couldn't answer?
To be honest, I don't remember.
You don't remember. You just remember that he stumped you.
Yeah,
Well,
but he was genuine. I mean, here's somebody he's meeting with Vice President Trump, Vice President Vance. He's meeting with all these important people, and he takes time to text the scripture to me.
yeah.
And I mean, we just have sort of a. He'd say, "Bill, somebody asked a question about John Adams. So help me on this," and I'd give him some of my links to my articles and so forth.
Yeah, well, it is just really something we never thought we would see in this body politic. I knew the left was crazy. I knew we had big, important enemies out there doing crazy things, but I just never thought we'd see a day like this, and it'll be interesting.
You have Erica's picture on there. I'm so proud of Erica for
Yeah.
keeping Turning Point going. There's a picture, an AI, somebody did it, of Charlie walking up the stairs to heaven to meet Jesus, and he turns and he's passing the baton to a crowd
Yes.
of young people lifting up their hands. If there's anything that Charlie would want is for this movement to continue and for there to be thousands, if not millions, of young Charlie Kirks rising up to help save this country and this world.
Well, they're off to a good start. Bill Federer, thank you for being with us. All right, coming up, more action and more reaction coming in after Charlie Kirk's assassination. How was it handled at a rock concert? Lots of places we're hearing about this that maybe we wouldn't have thought before. We're going to tell you about this next on American Sunrise.